In the given question, it is mentioned that a small block of weight 100 newtons is placed on an inclined plane which makes an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. So let's draw the inclined plane. Let's say this is the horizontal and the inclination is 30 degrees with respect to horizontal. So now on this plane, there is a block of weight 100 newtons placed over it. Let's say this is the block and this is the weight. The weight of the block is 100 newtons. So we are required to calculate the magnitude of components of the weights that are going to act parallel to the plane, and next one would be perpendicular to the plane. So let us first draw the weight itself. Weight is going to act vertically downwards. This is the weight force. Let us write it as W. Now one of the components will be acting along the inclination. So let's say this is the component which is along the plane, and the second component would be normal or perpendicular to this inclined plane. So this will be 90 degrees. Now here we need to reflect this 30-degree angle between these forces. So it's a very simple trick. You can remember that. Let's say this is X and Y axis. Okay. And now this X and Y axis, if I rotate them by some angle, and let's say this is new X and Y axis, and let me change the color of this, and let's say if I have rotated this by an angle theta. So initial position of the axis is given by the blue color and the final position is given by the orange color. So now here, if the x-axis is rotated by an angle theta, okay, and this is new axis, let's call that as x dash and y dash. So if the x-axis is rotated by an angle theta, same way the new y-axis will be also rotated by an angle theta if we try to measure it from the older y-axis. So I can rewrite this in a form of a statement. If a line makes an angle theta with the horizontal, the normal of that line is going to make same angle with vertical. So I need to reflect this identity in the diagram. So we find that 30 degrees is making with horizontal. So normal to that inclined plane is this force, Let us write it as Wy and let us write this as Wx. So the normal to the inclined plane is actually represented by Wy and W seems to be the vertical. So if the inclined plane is making an angle 30 degrees with the horizontal, this is the horizontal, the normal of that inclined plane, that is Wy, is going to make same angle with the vertical. So this angle comes out as 30 degrees. So this is where the students struggle a lot while marking the angles. So in the engineering mechanics, the beauty is that if you are thorough with the marking of angles, then once the free body diagram is drawn and you have identified the angular positions or the angles of all the forces acting over a body, then what is left for solving? Nothing. You have to just write the algebraic equation. So if we try to understand this free body diagram process or marking of angles or marking of forces, this is analogous to skeleton building process. So try to learn the skeleton building process. The solving or writing the mathematical equation can be done just in the nick of time. So we can write here Wy, that is Wy is equal to W times of the angle 30 degrees is made with the vertical. Okay, so Wy will be equal to, or that is equal to W times of cos 30 degrees, that is W is 100 into cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this will be equal to, that is 50 root 3, or approximately this would be 86.66 newtons. This is Wy, that is component of weight perpendicular to the plane. This Wy is called as component of weight perpendicular to plane. All right. So same way we can also solve the component of weight parallel to the plane. Wt stands for weight. So now we can write here Wx is equal to W times of sine 30, which is equal to 100 into 1 by 2, that is 50 newtons. So please remember this identity. We will be using this identity many number of times in the different problems. So throughout engineering mechanics and even in the topic called analysis of machines or even in machine design, you will find some kind of relevance, because we are majorly dealing with the forces, and those forces is going to produce some effects. Those effects could be either moving a body or bringing the body into an equilibrium. So the angles or the rules of geometry has to be taken care.